So this is not the first time that we have a webinar about UltraShape power, so I will make it, I will try to keep it around 20-25 minutes, even 30 minutes, and then I will leave a lot of time for questions, because it's important that everyone will get a chance to ask what is not clear or any other things, because you have heard most of it before. Okay, so as you know, this is the final industrial concept. This is the final design of the UltraShape power. The CE approved the indication that we received for the CE for the UltraShape power is that the system uses focused ultrasound to produce localized mechanical motion within fat tissues and cells for the purpose of producing mechanical cell membrane disruption. It is intended for non-invasive aesthetic body contouring. So the approval is specifically for fat disruption, so by mechanical effect, not by thermal effect, not just a general tissue heating like most of the RF devices, and not just a general body contouring. It's body contouring via fat cells disruption. Okay, the system comes with two transducers, as we know by now, the big VDF transducer and the small U-sculpt transducer that is comes in increase of energy, 12 grams, 20% more energy. If we will look more about the transducer specifications, so the big VDF transducer can last for 36,000 pulses. That means customers will have to replace the transducer after 36,000 pulses. The transducer are being replaced free of charge, and as long as the customers are buying the FTZs. So 36,000 pulses will be good for about 60-70 treatments, depending on the size of the treatment. The U-sculpt transducer the small transducer can last for longer, for 80,000 pulses. So that will be good for about 80 to 100 treatments. Also depend on the size of the treatments, okay? It's important that we will educate the customer to finish the transducer before they replace them, because now the transducers, they are not paying for the transducers, so some of them might even want to replace them before they finish the transducer. So it's important to educate the customers to finish the transducer before replacing them, unless there is a default in the transducer or so on. So the big VDF transducer comes with acoustic pressure of 10 grams, or another unit for acoustic pressure is ISPPA, which is for the VDF transducer is 550 watt per centimeter square. The center of the focal point of the VDF transducer is 14 millimeters. So in the graph here, we need to fix, it needs to be a little bit more on the top, but the center of the focal point of the VDF transducer is 14 millimeters. And the center of the focal point of the U-sculpt transducer is 13 millimeters. So almost the same, but slightly more superficial, the U-sculpt. The U-sculpt energy is higher than the VDF, only in UltraShape power. So we took the energy up 20% for 12 grams acoustic pressure, okay? And you can see that the dimension of the focal volume of the VDF transducer is bigger than the dimension of the focal volume of the U-sculpt transducer. And this is why we need more, in order to cover the same area size, we need more pulses with the U-sculpt than with the VDF. So the new system has a new design, much lighter, 45 kilograms, and new HD 15-inch screen. The camera has both optical and digital zoom. It's a completely new user interface. Okay, I will now go to the table that compare the V3 to UltraShape power. So dimension size, it's much smaller, much lighter, much more mobile. They can move it from place to place. They can move it from clinic to clinic if they want to. It will be easier for the sales reps to take it with them and to do a demonstrations. It was impossible to transport the big UltraShape V3 system. Okay, the acoustic pressure is higher in the U-scalp at the moment only. The frequency is the same of the ultrasound. The pulsar is a new pulsar, and it's much more efficient and much stronger in energy. So in the future, we will be able even to raise the acoustic energy even higher once we will get regulatory approvals for that. Output of the power is more accurate. Treatment time, we were able to reduce the treatment time in about 25% due to the fly mode, which is a faster treatment mode. Okay. Fat destruction, we put ourselves a goal when we add the UltraShape power in R&D for at least 22% reduction in fat layer. At the moment, the clinical trials that were being concluded and that were being submitted to the FDA show a fat layer reduction above 30%. I cannot share with you this data. We cannot print it yet because this data was submitted to the FDA. And because it was submitted to the FDA, we cannot share it at the moment until it will get approved. So the only thing that we can share at the moment is the data that we have at the moment at the presentation, which talks about reduction of about 25%. And once we will get the approval, we will be able to update all of our materials to the most updated result, which is slightly above 30% reduction in the treated area, which is very nice. Okay, another big feature about the UltraShape power is the white. Yes.
Yes, hi, sorry. So you mentioned that the 30% is not yet approved, but that's kind of the next goal that we've got. Is that right? So at the moment, you can only write down 22% reduction for UltraShape power. But in fact, you're trying to get the FDA approval to say 30%.
So first of all, okay. So 22 was our goal, but if you will refer to the clinical results that we have in the sales presentation in all of the materials, it's more than 22. The result that we are presenting there, it's about 20, closer to it's about 25. But those results were not the final conclusion of the study. Now that we concluded the study, the results shows with the follow-up period and so on, the result talks about 30% reduction. This data was submitted to the FDA, and because of that, we cannot talk about it yet. We can talk about it only after the clearance of the FDA. Okay? So the FDA, the submission is for general fat destruction, okay? But this is the result that we are submitting them.
Right. Okay. That's clear. So basically, after the studies concluded, we've seen 30% reduction, but that's currently still under submission.
Yeah.
So at the moment, we can only talk about 22%.
Yeah. At the moment, yeah, we can talk about whatever there is in the product brochure and in the sales presentation that we release. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So to conclude that, we are talking about messaging that describe power up efficacy, power up earning, and power up experience. And again, the power up efficacy with the higher energy and the better clinical outcome that we see in the recent study, the power up earning with our new business model and the faster treatment time. And also we are going to expose more studies that talks about treating patients with BMI above 28, and those are patients that In the non-invasive body shaping, we're not so much treated, so this opens the window for bigger population. And power-up experience with the advanced patient therapy management, with the online support of the connectivity. Now, we have issued a release announcement. All of you should have got the email that describe the release announcement with the main marketing messaging, and also with the list of all the marketing tools that we provide that are already available for use. And those marketing tools are all the sales material, sales presentation, product brochure, product ads, mechanism of action, and so on, ultravela testimonials, all the practice marketing tools that we have, the marketing for patients, the videos. Some of them are in general about the UltraShape technology, and all the clinical materials. All of those materials are available on our portal, so feel free to download, to send it to your distributors, to translate, and to make a use of them. Also, with the release announcement, you have the details and the part numbers of the transducers, of the accessories kit, of everything that you or your distributors need to order for that system. Okay? So regarding the user interface, so I think all of you already got a chance to see the system, to see that the systems can connect to the Wi-Fi. It gives us a lot of nice features. Some of the, first of all, we do not collect any patient data from those systems, okay? We only care about service data that we can help about our customer. And they can also choose not to connect the system to the internet if they don't want to. So they have the option to disable that. But in general, this will allow us first to provide them a better service. So in direct country as Australia, for example, the customers will be able to open a service call directly from the system. So if they have an error number, problem or anything else, they can, from the system, open a service call, and it automatically will open a service call in our service map and platform, and then a technician will know that they need to contact them. The technician will already get all the log files with the error message from the system. So they will already know what the problem is about, more or less. They can also upgrade the software. Soon we will have a new software update for the UltraShape Power, so they can do it automatically from the system. We don't need to send the technician, and we don't need to send the USB to upgrade the software. Another nice thing is that, and I just want to mention that we have one of our UltraShape Power users that we installed 2 systems in the Netherlands, started to work with the system. He already performed a lot of treatment, and he had one problem with the system, and very fast, because he connected the system online, we were able to see the treatments that he was performed, and we were able to help him and to analyze what he was doing wrong and what they should fix. So it's a great tool in order to provide our customer a better service. Now, another nice thing about the connectivity is it will allow us to get... Yes.
Aviv, sorry, just on the previous slide regarding the service call, is that something that has to be manually set up, or does it automatically kind of submit the service call for the territory or the market where the UltraShape Power is sold?
No, so they do it, they have the option under menu to click, as you can see here, on service call, and then they will have to fill out their name, their phone number, a short description on the problem, and then their email, and then they can send. Once they send it, the system together with that info, it will send the log files of the system. The log files include the list of all the error numbers that were received in the system. It includes data on the treatments, for example, temperature of the transducer, acoustic contact, and all kind of data, pulsar output power, and all kind of data that help us analyze if there was something wrong technically with the system, or maybe something wrong with the setup of the user. So this data will be sent automatically once they fill out the service call.
And it will be sent to...
Yes.
Yes. Aviv?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah,
yes.
For regarding the service call, is there something like it should be under the Wi-Fi connected, right? But sometimes it's like the China or some clinics that they don't have the Wi-Fi, or it is very slow. So in that case, can we send by the service call? Is it like the current method?
Yes. If they don't connect it to Wi-Fi, if they don't want to, or if they don't have Wi-Fi in the clinic, so they can approach the service team or their distributor just in the usual way. Send an email, make a phone call, just the old-fashioned way.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So, and then if they use the service call on the on-screen, is there a generic email address where it land into, or is it going to go into specific mailboxes depending on the serial number connected to whichever region? How does it?
How does it work behind the scene? So
yeah,
behind the
like
scene,
does it go?
Okay. So let me answer that. Behind the scene, once the customers fill out the service call, first of all, we get it here in Yokneam, so the service team here in Yokneam will get this message. And on top of that, the local service team at the region of that system. So, for example, if Australia now have 2 UltraShape systems, if one of their customers will open a service call, the service team here in Israel will get the notification about this service call, and also the service guy in Australia will get that notification on the service call. Okay? So this is in order so the service team here in Israel can follow up and see if that was taken care of by the local service technician. Okay? Same thing goes for distributor. If a service call was open for a distributor market, okay, so basically the system, we will get here the call in Israel and we can forward it to the distributor, okay? The distributors might ask from their customer also to phone call them and so on, but we will also get the info. So we can follow up on the distributors and to make sure that he's taking care of that.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So another thing that this can help us to do is to get a quick FTZ update on their purchasing. So if a customer has purchased the FTZs, and I'm talking now on direct. So if a customer has purchased FTZs on our e-store, they will make the purchase on their computer, and then from the system they can click on the FTZ, and then they can load the FTZ, and then the new FTZ that were purchased on the e-store can be updated. Okay. So this is a nice feature to receive the FTZ fast without having to remove the FTZ USB from the system, to take it to the PC, to download, to extract the file, and then to take it back to the system. So this is instead of it.
We actually don't have the full e-store yet. We have Jimmy actually here, and we don't have the full e-store
Correct.
platform.
So this week they are testing the e-store for our direct subs. So let's say for Australia, for Spain, for UK, Germany, and so on. So they are testing. The e-store will be open at the moment for those territories only for the FTZ. Okay, so even if the e-store is not ready for everything, it will be open for the FTZ.
But is it for direct customer or for our service team?
This is only for direct customers.
So that means the direct
team. It's not for distributors, but what do you mean for your service team?
So that means the e-store will be up and running this week or next week, and then the customer from Australia can order it directly? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, only FTZ at the moment. They are doing the testing this week. So once we see that it's okay and that we can have a transaction from all type of credit cards, because this was the main issue that took so much time, because we switched to work with a Global One company that enable us to take credit cards from worldwide, from everyone. So once they test it this week and they see that it's okay, so next week we will basically issue the instructions of how to do it, and then it will be open for customers direct in direct countries, and they can go online. And I will talk about it in a few more slides, and it will be more clear how they can do it. But basically, yes, at the moment it will be open at the first stage only for FTZs and only for direct. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
So with the business model of the UltraShape Power, you already know we want to establish a long-term partnership, and this is why we are going with the FTZ model. So the FTZ is basically it's a focal treatment zone, a measurement unit for a treatment of localized fat deposit about 20 centimeters square. So it's about 100 pulses with the VDF. With the U-Scalp, it will be more than 100 pulses because we need more pulses in order to cover the same area, okay? And with different protocols that we require them to do, for example, double pass, we will give a discount on FTZ. So, for example, on the super mode, if they do the second pass on the super mode, they get 50% discount on the FTZ, okay? And the system knows how to calculate this automatically. The customers don't need to do anything. It will just take less FTZ from their account, okay? Now, so transducer in this model are being replaced free of charge. They get the system with the USB that
do you mind repeating that? When they do which percent on the second pass that they will get 50% discount?
Okay, so when they do super mode is they have single when they use the VDF transducer, the big one, they have basically two main treatment options. One of them is single focus. So in single focus, let's say they select an area of 8 FTZs, so they will complete 8 FTZ, which is about 800 pulses. They also have the option to do super mode. Super mode is an option to do the first pass in a single focus, and the second pass is to repeat that area, and this time the focal point will be more superficial. So they do more, they treat more fat volume in this type of mode. We didn't want to get to the point that we charge them for example, double the price on the cost on the treatment when they use super mode, because basically they are doing more pulses, so they are using more FTZs. So when they select this mode, when they do the first pass, let's say they finish all 8 FTZs, when they do the second pass, so they have the option to, they don't have to repeat everything. They can repeat, let's say, 50%. So only the center of the area they are going to do again. The center of the area is only, for example, 4 FTZs. So we are not going to charge them for 4 FTZ. We are going to charge them only for 2. Okay? So total the treatment will be 10 FTZs instead of 12, for example. So the discount, the 50% discount on the FTZ is on the second pulse of the super mode. Is it more clear now?
Yes, very clear. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So the secured USB comes with 200 focal treatment zone that they can start and use as soon as they get the system, and then after they will finish, and 200 focal treatment zone will be good for about 20-25 treatments, okay, depending on the size of the treatment. Once they finish that, they will have to buy more FTZs, and they can do it, or that if they are in one of our direct countries, so they will be able to go online and to buy it with a credit card. And if they are not in our direct country, they will be able to call their distributor, okay, and then the distributor can buy it for them. We are not going to sell directly to customers in countries that we work with the distributors, okay? So let's say average abdomen treatment is about 8 FTZs, okay? So this is what they get with the system: a VDF transducer, use card transducer, FTZ key. Each FTZ has a number on it. FTZ key has a number of it, with 200 focal treatment on it, full accessories kit, and 1-year warranty. Now, as we said, transducer will be replaced free of charge as long as FTZ are purchases. Now, in direct countries, for example, if we talk about Australia again, so Australia has ordered a 2 system right now in stock. They need to make sure that they also have some kind of transducer in stock in order to support their customer. Because once a customer finishes a transducer, we don't want to come to a point that only then we are ordering another transducer to be shipped from Israel to Australia. That will take some time, and then ship it from the office in Australia to the customer. That will take more time, and in the meanwhile, the customers cannot do treatment. Also, for the reason that, let's say, they drop a transducer, or we need to replace a transducer, so we want to make sure that it's true for direct and for distributors that they have some kind of stock of the VDF transducer and the used cup transducer in order to support their installed base. However, because at the moment, right now they don't pay for the transducer, not our directs and not our distributors. So we don't want to come to a point that, let's say, the distributors in the Philippines have only one UltraShape system in the field, and he will order now 10 transducers to hold in stock. It's an expensive inventory for us because every transducer costs us a lot of money. So what we have issued is some kind of table, okay, that give you the ratio of of the quantity of transducer that we expect distributors or direct operation to hold as a backup in their inventory. So, for example, if Australia at the moment have 2 systems of 2 UltraShape install base, they need to make sure that they have at least 1 used cart and 2 VDF in stock. If I don't know, if Hong Kong will have, or if the distributors in the Philippines will have 5 systems, they need to make sure that they have 2 used cart and 3 VDF in stock. We will not ship more than that because we don't think that they need to hold a bigger stock than that. But even if they will order system and they will forget to order the backup transducer with them, we will remind them to do that. Vered, that take care of the operation here, will remind them to do that. And then they will have to return the used transducer back. Until we don't receive the used transducer back, we will not ship new transducers. Okay, we don't want transducer in the field going around, and then it can get to the wrong hands. People can try to hack them and to use them without FTZs. So again, if it's direct, we are collecting the used finished transducer from the customer, shipping them back here. If it's distributors also, they must collect the used transducer and ship it back to us. Otherwise, we will not send new transducers. Is that clear?
No.
Okay.
Aviv, one question.
Yes.
So you know the ISP is accumulative. So some of the distributor may buy one first. So that means when they buy one, we have to provide one extra VDF transducer and one extra U-scrub transducer to the distributor at that time on
Correct.
the purchase.
Yes, correct.
So
they are not paying for that. That's why we limit that, because they are not paying for those transducers.
So how we will do the like a logistic and finance issue? It is like a consignment.
So what we do is that we open every time. Let's say, for example, at the moment the Netherlands have ordered 2 systems. Okay. So we also send them another U-scalp and 2 VDF transducer, okay? They didn't pay for those transducers, but the second that those transducers were shipped out, the people in operation open an RMA. So the RMA call in our data tell us that we need to get those transducers back, okay? Only when we get those transducers back, they will get more transducer. Or if they will order more systems, they will also get more transducer. But we will keep track on those transducers, because every transducer that's being shipped out, there will be an RMA open in the system, and an RMA open in the system means that we need to get this transducer, this serial number back to us, okay, from that client.
So are you clear what we have to do?
Okay, that means like on the operation point of view, the ordering processing team will take care of the transducer. They will use the RMA to record the in and out transducer, and from, let's say, from our direct office and our distributor don't really need to like doing the counting here, right?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, let's say if the customer is ordering the system, and let's say if they order 2 systems, we provide 1 use group and then 1 VDF, 2 VDF, and then after that, if they order 1 more system, so are we going to give them additional, because based on what you've got in the table, if they have 3 systems in total, they still got the same number of U-scope and VDF transducer.
So if they order only 1, so they don't receive more. But if they will order 2 more, so we will send them more transducer. This table is only a policy for the start. Now, we had to establish some kind of policy when we launched the product. We will take a look at this, let's say, 6 months from now, and we will see if those quantity make sense according to the real utilization that we see in the field. And if we need to change something, we will change something. But we had to issue some kind of policy according to the utilization that we are familiar with in other markets, for example, in the US market, that this model is working like this. So in order to start with something, If we will see that we need to change the quantities, we will change the quantities. But you know, it's
we're sorry, Aviv, we're not talking about the quantity here, but we are talking about how to keep track of this quantity.
And who responsible?
So there are teams that are responsible. First of all, service teams and together with the operation responsible to ask and to make sure that we are collecting transducers back from the field and ship them back. And then service team and operation here making sure to track this data. Okay?
Okay, so that means the service team and the operation team will be manually checking them or under the system to track them?
Once you ship a transducer, there will be RMA open in the system, tells you that this serial number was sent to this distributor or to this customer. So we will have a track in our system to tell us that which transducer, which serial number is with what customer, so we will know to ask for them back. You know, it will be on the system.
So the question is who initiates? So like, for example, tomorrow Bloomage will buy 5 UltraShape power from us. So suppose we will give 5 spare transducer, 2 U-scrub and 3 VDF. So my job is to get the 5 UltraShape power orders for the company. And then for this kind of spare, and who will be initiate to order the RMA?
Bloomage has opened an account, and then so we are shipping now 7 systems to them right now.
So it's just an example, like Blue Medical, for example, Blue Medical buy 5 tomorrow from me.
Yes.
Okay. It is a new case. Okay.
So Blue Medical buy 5, so we are going to ship them 2 U-scalp and 3 VDF. Okay, Eda? Now, Vered, when she shipped out those transducers, she is opening an RMA call in our database for those transducers. Okay, so whoever is taking care of Blue Medical regarding service and operation, regarding whoever provide them the service contract, so basically the APAC team is the APAC service team is responsible to tell them you need to follow up with them and to ask them to send those transducers back. Okay, once they send those transducers back, we can update the database of our system and that this RMA is being closed because the transducer was being returned. Okay, and if they need more transducer, they will get more transducers, or if they order more system, they will get more transducer.
So okay, it's quite is a little bit more clear for me. So when the red issue the RMA, we will ship the extra transducer to them. Okay, and then at that time, service team would not know the RMA was
to follow up with we will always follow up. The service team will always follow up with the distributors to make sure they are returning the transducer back.
So we have to make sure the red, when she created RMA, she has to notice the APAC service team so that they can follow up in the future.
True, but once an RMA is open in the system, they can see it as well. They will also see an open RMA in their system. Okay?
Do the service team know about this process, and do they know that they need to take care of this transducer?
So this was communicated to Shlomo, to Eran, to Meir, and to everybody. It was agreed with them that at the moment this is the policy that we are going to execute. And I know that Meir will be in Hong Kong for a training next week. So maybe they plan to update, face to face or to talk about it then. If they haven't already.
Okay. Okay, that means the service team will know about the whole process and they know how to like exchange the transducer and keep track the transducer. So is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. That's clear.
So Mia will be in Hong Kong. Maybe you can. This week. This week, 13 to 15. Maybe you can help for the communication to make sure he communicate with Jason's team. Because I will be on a business trip. So we have to close the loop. Everyone know all the information. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, and we already talked about it, but in a little bit more details about how to order FTZs. I'm talking right now direct customers. Okay. So APAC is at the moment only Australia with UltraShape power. So let's say a doctor that purchased the system wants now to buy more FTZ. They log into our e-store. They have a username and password. This is the same username and password that our sales force is going to issue them. So the same username and password that they use to enter our portal. Okay? And then they will see that they have UltraShape power in their, under their account. Once they click on that, they can find the FTZ that they need to order. They're going to enter the USB key number that they have. Okay. Then they are going to select the amount of FTZ that they want, 100, 200, 400, whatever, and then they can pay by credit card. Now there are two options. Once they completed the payment, or they are going to the system, if the system is connected online, press on the FTZ, and then just press load FTZ, and then the system automatically recognizes that they made a new purchase with FTZ, and it will update. Let's say they have 100 FTZ in the system left, and they bought 200, so now it will be 300. It will add up to whatever they already had. Okay, this is the easiest option. Or if their system is not connected online, we will also send them email as backup with the file with the FTZ on it. Okay, so if they don't have the system connected, we will send these instructions about how to do it. They will receive an email with the FTZ on it. They can take the USB from the system, plug it into their computer, open this email that they received, extract the file, and then the USB, the FTZ secured USB will have the new FTZs on it, and then take it back to the system and use it. Okay, this is the more complicated way to do it. Not very complicated, but less easy. So whatever they choose, okay, obviously they will not be able to do it from the email and from the system. They cannot double load FTZs. So this will be the process. We will send very, very specific instructions about how to do it. As I mentioned, we are testing it this week. So we will send very soon the specific instruction on how to do it, and then each customer can receive this. Was that clear?
Yep.
Yes? Okay. Now, with distributors, we are not selling to customers, okay? So, Ada, for example, if War Medical is buying UltraShape power tomorrow, okay, and now their customers want to buy FTZ, so we don't sell directly to their customer, okay? Their customer are going to call their distributor, the War Medical, as they call for transducers, for example, and ask them, I want 400 FTZs, okay? Then War Medical will go on the e-store, okay? War Medical will enter the USB number of that specific customer. because they cannot buy FTZ just in general. Every FTZ needs to be bought for a specific key number. So when Who Medical will enter this key number on the e-store, they will enter the amount of FTZ that they want to purchase, and then they will pay for it. Okay? And then we will send the email with the file to War Medical, and they can forward it to the customer. Then an alternative for that, the customer can directly get the FTZ to their system. Once War Medical made a purchase on the e-store, the customers, War Medical customers, can get directly the FTZ to their system. Okay? But for that, War Medical will have to know about that, and they will have to know that they need to make sure that they receive the payment for those FTZ before they order it from us. Was I clear? Was that process clear?
So when the e-store for distributor will be available?
Next week.
For distributor?
Yes.
Aviv, so does that mean like if the distributor want to stock up some FTZ, they cannot do that? They have to have some order from the end user in order to place the order for FTZ. They cannot store any FTZ from their own. Is that right?
This is correct. The only way that they can store FTZ is to buy more keys. Is to buy physically, keys that include 200 FTZ on it. And we will give them the option to do it, but we don't think it's the best option because this is to have a physical product that requires to be shipped, and they need to ship it to the customers. I will assume that most distributors will buy some keys just to have as a backup, but once this program will be out, customers will get used to buy it online because it will be more comfortable for them. And the distributors will have several keys as a backup just in case, if they need to send the customers a key, as soon as possible, if something didn't work for them.
So that means if they want to stock up the FTZ, they have to buy the key, and the key has to physically plug into the system in order to activate the FTZ.
True, correct. It's not. They cannot buy FTZ files. They can only buy FTZ keys, USBs. The FTZ files need to be designated for a specific key number. That's why they cannot stock FTZ files. Make sense?
How much is a USB key?
Are you asking how much is it for them or how much is it for us?
For them.
It's
Don't tell me.
for them it will be.
How much are you selling to distributor?
Sorry?
How much are we going to sell them? Is that a special unit price? For example, 200 for how much, or 400 FTZ for how much? So is that a unit price there? So
FTZ for a distributor costs $15, and FTZ in direct countries costs $25. So the distributors, we will recommend the distributors to sell the FTZ for $25 for the end user. We will sell it for the distributors for $15 because the distributors has extra cost of training, of marketing that they need to do in order to make sure their customers are working with the system. So in direct market, FTZ costs $25. To distributors, it costs $15. Now, you can multiply it by the number of FTZ that they will buy. It will be in jumps of 100. So 100 or 200 or 300, 400, 500, as many as they want.
So for example, they can order the key. Is there a specific number of FTZ for the key, or they can order any number they want?
No, if they order keys, it comes at the moment only with 200, or we can also have a part number for 400. If they order...
Okay, that means two options, 200 and 400.
Yeah.
So,
I need to make sure that the 400 option is open. I'm not sure it's open. The 200 option is for sure open.
The unit price of the 400 is just double as the 200, or any discount if they buy more?
It's to, we might, it's not in the system yet, so we might have an additional cost for the shipment and for the USB itself, because it's a but it will not be a big difference. It will not be a big difference. It will be basically the 15 times 200 plus a small addition.
So 400 is also 15 plus 400 times addition.
Correct.
Plus addition. Okay. Supposed to be 400, get some bulk discount.
We will want to do the discounts based on specific cases, like promotions for specific seasons or stuff or anything, or once we will have the partnership program in place, so only for very high volume accounts, we'll get those discounts, okay?
But right now, if you are using, okay, it makes sense only for direct market, for distributor, because what you are saying is they recognize as USB key number, not the customer account number. So maybe you mean a discount for distributor if the distributor can buy more, right?
Yeah, we will have programs like this, Ada, but at the moment we don't want to start to discount, even before the product was being launched. Also, we need to take in mind that at the moment as a policy in the company, because investors are now looking at us and they're judging our success by our ability to sell consumables. So we will try not to give free FTZs or not to have big discounts on FTZ, because our success in Wall Street is measured by our success to sell consumables.
Understand.
Aviv, I just wanted to clarify another thing, because it's very clear in terms of in-system update of FTZ. So basically, if the USB is plugged into the system and the Wi-Fi is turned on, then whatever purchase that's been done online can then be updated via the system. And then you mentioned another method in the previous slide, which is via email. If the email is sent to the customer, and then the customer can therefore then update the USB key without being in the system. Can you explain that a bit more?
So they receive the email, okay, and then they take the secured USB out of the system and they plug it to the PC, okay, or Mac or laptop, and then they open the file that they received in their email, and then the short process, like you extract some software, and then it will upload those new FTZ to their secure USB, and then they take it back and they plug it back into the system, and then they can use the new FTZs.
So the update is done away from the system through the PC or whatever computer they're using to receive the email and extract the file.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Which is very simple to do, but still, it's more complicated than just to press the button on the system. We have tried to simplify the process in UltraShape Power for them because the system can connect online, but they don't have to do it this way if the system is not online.
Right. Thank you.
But this point, Sen, is very important when we discuss it with the distributors, because distributors need to make sure that they charge their customer in advance for the FTZ, because once the distributor will place the order, their customers will be able to update those FTZ from the system in a second, okay? So they need to make sure that they know to charge those customers in advance, or any kind of payment method that they have with them. You know, it's basically, it's not our business, but they need to be aware of that. Eda, is that clear, this process? That the customers can update?
Yeah.
Okay. So you all know that moving forward, we would like very hard to, and this is how it's being done at the moment in Europe, in the Middle East, in EMEA. We have recruited KOLs in Germany, in the UK, now in Spain, even before starting to sell to everybody else, and those doctors are now starting to work with the systems. We want to establish good reference sites and to follow up them closely. To make sure that everything is okay, and then to expand sales to all. We would like that APAC will take the same method and the same way, because it will enable us also, you know, to launch this new model and the new system successfully. And we want us to inform that you guys will keep your eyes open on all the UltraShape power, because it's a new system. We want to be on top of everything that can happen and every request that the customers or the distributors have. So I finished my part. I'm open to take any questions from your side if you still have any.
Aviv?
Yes.
I heard that there are some changes in the UltraShape power pricing. Can you walk us through on that?
There is only some small changes for the distributors' prices only, not for direct. And I will prefer that Robert will do it. Okay, Robert has received this from Daniel, so I will prefer that he will talk about it with whoever he needs to talk about it with. Okay?
Okay.
We basically also included the option to upgrade from V2 to UltraShape power, and not only from V3 to UltraShape power, and therefore we have increased the upgrade price a little bit. But Robert has he received, I think, from Daniel the exact numbers, so please be in contact with Robert on that. Okay? Anything else?
So, any questions? Okay. Any other questions in the line for Aviv?
Okay, so Anne and Sen, thank you for setting this up. Anyone that were on the call, you can forward them the presentation that I send you, and anyone can feel free to contact me directly, email, phone, whatever, and to ask any questions. Okay?
Yes, with the team who are attending this call, please cascade the information to your respective team members that would need to, for example, participate such webinars in the future, or share the file that Aviv kindly forwarded to us, so that the rest of the team within your markets are also aware. Thanks again, Aviv, for taking the time to update us with the information that's recently changed or recently kind of been confirmed.
Okay, you're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you guys for participating and for taking the time to listen. And we will talk soon.
Thank
Have
you.
a good
Thanks,
day.
everyone.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.